fall winds down, the days get shorter, and the air becomes crisper, I'm always more acutely aware of the struggle of homelessness, even in our little town. We are blessed with many organizations that challenge us to do more than be aware, organizations that ask us to join them in doing something. Let's learn more about two of them today on Hometown. When I was younger, I remember people being committed to raising awareness. Everyone was wearing ribbons for this cause or that. But what really makes a difference is committing to solving the problem. One American clergyman wrote, "Visionary people face the same problems everyone else faces, but rather than get paralyzed by their problems, visionaries immediately commit themselves to finding a solution." Today, we receive updates from two established and still growing organizations, the Christian Aid Center and Hope Heals. Both organizations change lives, one story at a time. They raise awareness of challenges, but go further by challenging us to invest time and treasure at pivotal points along the journey out of homelessness. They are vibrant examples of what we can do together. Let's get caught up on providing life-changing solutions, essential ingredients in the remarkable story of us.
Jason and Karina, thank you so much for inviting Hometown here to the Christian Aid Center here in downtown Walla Walla.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Well, it's nice to see your facility. It's nice to meet with you both. And for someone who has heard about the Christian Aid Center, they might know what you do, but you're doing all sorts of new things all the time. And for someone who this is new to them, Jason, what's the history? What do you do here?
Yeah, good question. Christian Aid Center has been here for almost 80 years and started after World War II. A couple of concerned citizens came and opened a place for those that were suffering from alcoholism and homelessness, and offered them some food and had somewhat of a lunch, free lunch and a free dinner for people that needed some food. And then it morphed into, in the 50s, that they offered a little bit more help and turned into an emergency shelter. So those that were still homeless and struggling with alcoholism had a place to go and at least be safe for the night. There were a lot of terms back then that were 3 hots and a cot that were provided, and this all was started too with the foundation of faith, and that Christianity was the foundation of which people were going to be helped, and that's what compels us to continue to this day to help people. Wasn't a church, it's not a church, but we still have that same foundation of knowing what helps get us out of our challenges. From there, for the next 30 some years, Bernie and Mary Cluey became the directors, and they provided a lot of stability and more structure for men, primarily just men at that time, until in the late 80s, the single women started coming through that had suffered from more domestic violence and neglect and abuse and trauma. And we opened a little shelter for 3 families, I believe, 3 moms with children. And from then, in the 90s, we built, we moved over here. There were some properties on the other side of the street from Birch, and we had more apartments and places for single women and then moms with kids, and all the way until we are here today.
And it's expanded and expanded, and it's just a beautiful location. And you folks have done such a lovely job here, Karina. I can see so many nice touches, because for so many people, this is their home for a while.
Mm-hmm. And when you say expanded and expanded, hopefully we are not promoting to have more people experiencing homelessness.
Right.
But our society has created some circumstances
Yes.
where people need help. But our focus, more than offering more space, is to offer dignity.
Yes.
And
Yes.
hopefully when you walk through our facilities, you can see that we provide the best environment that we can think of that is conducive to change.
Yeah, absolutely. But to go back to how it was started in 1946 by a businessman who saw a need in our hometown here in Walla Walla, and to have then the baton then carried through the generations, through the years of what needs to happen to help support people in a time of need. And I'm sure that as we're sitting here in this space where you serve food and all of that, I can only imagine the stories that you're hearing of people who need help. And so that's what you do here. That's what you do. But bring in because you're not a church, Karina, and Jason, you don't have to be a Christian to come here. It just happens to be that was the center of faith that started that. Is that correct?
Well, that's our call, right, is to help our fellow neighbors, regardless of any circumstances. We're called to help them, and that spirit has stayed today.
So as we talk about hope and we talk about these the services that you do offer here, recovery is a big part of your programs. So if you could speak to that.
We offer three main things. You talked about the food that's in form of meals that are cooked every day. We're the only organization in the community that serves 2 meals a day every day of the year. Breakfast at 7:30 and dinner at 5:30 for anyone in the community that needs a meal. No questions asked. And we are very fortunate to be funded by private individuals. So we don't even have to keep track of how many are from this town, how many are in the range of 30 to 40 years old. There's
Doesn't matter.
really whoever needs a meal. And we can't do it by ourselves. We do it with the help of volunteers that come and put those meals together. But that's one, maybe the originator service of our organization. The second one is shelter that you talked about too, people that don't have a place to stay. And the third one is the one you're asking about, our recovery programs. That's our passion probably. And we are always, that's our goal, that people will want to become part of our program.
So that's recovery from drugs, alcohol,
Yep.
all of the above.
The
Life.
Life,
Life.
yes, struggles.
So they deal with the root issues that brought someone to experience homelessness.
And right now it's really quiet because why?
Because our guests are mostly out and about doing things depending on their goals. For someone, it might be getting a driver's license. We have a guest currently that has a car, but she doesn't have a driver's license. For another person, might be going to school. For another person, might be getting an ID or
Looking for work.
looking for work. So
this is a place for them to stay while they are working on all those aspects. And as we will show here through video, so there's a place for the children to gather. There's a beautiful playroom for them, and your guest rooms. You have done a beautiful job of having guest rooms, laundry, and all of that, and then a courtyard for families to gather and be outside. I think that's beautiful.
It's important to know too, Karina and I spend a lot of time trying to dispel myths in our community. And there are a lot of people that struggle with thinking, well, why are you guys doing everything for people? And we want to help people, but we don't want to do it for them. So our job is to provide them with tools, and their job is to make them work to help move forward in life.
Right.
And that's kind of maybe a difference, unique as to the Christian Aid Center as opposed to some of the other agencies that might provide shelter, is we want them to get out of the cycle of homelessness. We don't want to keep them there. And if you're not having any sort of requirements to move forward and step make steps, positive steps in your life, then we're just spinning our wheels and going backwards. And
So this is a place for people to, like you said, those three aspects of the Christian Aid Center. This is a place for them to come, and then you're helping them to move on. This isn't a place where they're going to live for the rest of their life.
Exactly.
No.
Right, yeah.
But the ones that commit to a recovery program are pretty busy fulfilling those requirements of the
Right.
program. So they might stay here during the day because they're taking classes.
Right.
And that's why we have
Right.
a place where the kids can be while the moms are taking a class or doing
Exactly.
homework.
Yeah, because how can you balance all that? Why do you both come to work each day?
because of the folks like Caitlin that's out in the front, it can be a discouraging job at times. There are a lot of challenges that people experience and that we're trying, and we want them to succeed, but we can only want them as much as they're willing to. But the ones that do and get over that hump, they make it all worth it.
Wonderful. Well, we are going to take a peek outside across the street at your new project that you're working on.
Okay, great.
Jason and Karina, we were just in the Center for Women and Children, and what is behind us here?
Well, as you can see, we are all about dignity. I think we've shared that a number of times. We had overlived our space with our shelter for men, and so we're building a new shelter for men and a community meal program. And so this will expand a little bit for our men in our recovery program, as well as our emergency shelter.
So this is exciting to have this new building, Karina. So what are some awesome things that you're involved with the building?
On top of housing men, and also our meal program, which is going to have its own entrance, assigned lights. It's going to be very welcoming inside. It's going to have a full commercial kitchen for our volunteers to be able to cook, trust all the equipment, and be safe as they do it. We also will have flexible units. That's how we call these spaces that allow us to house someone that cannot join the community in our shelters. For example, in the case of a dad with children, the dad can't be at the Center for Women and Children. The children can't be in the men's dorm, so we can give them a space with a bathroom of their own until we figure out the best way to help them.
Lovely.
It could be someone with a severe mental illness that is not ready to share space with other people, or coming off of drugs or a substance. So these are very temporary spaces that allow us to put someone in a safe place during the night, so they don't have to be outside.
Very nice.
Until we figure the best way to help them.
Well, and I just have to say thank you for all these different aspects that you folks are thinking about here. And for someone who's been watching and really wants to get involved, what are some ways that they can do that?
Well, there are many ways to get involved. I think we mentioned the volunteers. We can't do what we do seriously without our volunteers. We have about 300 of them that help every month. Wow. And I think the biggest activity is cooking those meals that we provide every day, but also teaching classes. Nurses do well checkups and all kinds of things. And so that is a very tangible way to get involved. But also some people have mobility problems maybe, and so you can always pray for the things that we do here, and that you can do from home. Another way is by bringing donations, things that maybe you don't use anymore, or sometimes you want to bring something that is very useful And I will say our number one item that we need all the time is toilet paper.
Toilet paper. You
Mhm.
heard it right here.
So
Toilet
if you
paper.
have any ideas
And
on
laundry
what to
To
bring
bring?
to the Christian Aid Center,
So if you go to the
always,
store,
you're safe
bring
with toilet paper.
Okay,
Mhm.
wonderful. And you can see Caitlin and give it to her.
Exactly.
Yeah, we house an average of 60 individuals every night. So you can imagine how much of those supplies we use. And the third one is another easy one if you can't move, is financially. You can help. The facility that you see behind us was done as a community effort. Everyone contributed and is still contributing. And that's why it's ours, and we should all be proud. So we have a website where you can go and give conveniently. And what we love the most is the people that become monthly sustainers, because that way we can plan for the future.
Wonderful.
Because we can count on that
Those donations.
help. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both for what you are doing for people in our hometown to help them as they are having hope and looking to the
Thank
future.
you. Thank you for sharing our story.
Thank you.
Annette, it is so great to see you again and have you back on Hometown. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
And we are here to talk about Hope Heals, which is such a wonderful organization here in our community that you began a number of years back. And it's just time for an update about what's going on with this organization.
I have been running Hope Heals for 12 years, and December 13th is my anniversary date for my 12 years,
Love it.
and have helped over 10,000 people from Dayton to Milton Free Water and up to Burbank. That's my service area.
And that is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And when we say helped, for those who aren't so familiar with Hope Heals, what services are you providing?
So we provide care packages for homeless and low-income people as they transition into housing. They get their basic needs met and some.
Mm-hmm.
So things like dishes, silverware, pots and pans, kitchen appliances, bath towels, bedding, anything that you can think of that somebody might need to start a home.
Uh-huh. Really, really important. And it's interesting that, prior to you starting this organization, some of the helping organizations just were not aware of what somebody who's transitioning from being homeless to having a home really needed. And you experienced that for yourself, I know. And so as a homeless person transitioning long ago, so you know what people need.
Well, I was homeless 3 times in 12 years,
Mm-hmm.
and my basic needs were not met during my homelessness. And I wanted to make sure that other people had hope to carry on, and that's why I named Hope Heals, Hope Heals.
Yeah, it's a very descriptive name for the organization. I know you have some very exciting things that are happening, have just happened. New location, yes?
Yes.
Tell me
We
about it.
moved into a new place. We have 11 rooms, and we're at 120 East Birch, Suite 14 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a donation station, a men's room full of supplies for a man, a woman's room full of supplies. We have a counseling room. We have a food shelf where they can come in and get a backpack with toiletry items if they're on the streets, and some basic food items that if we can warm something up real quick for them, a can of soup or something like that. We've got some office space and kind of our employee lounge.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, so what you're saying is now you have a space where people can actually come.
yes,
Before your space was 2 rooms and a basement.
that people could not come to.
They could not come. So you had to
Correct.
do all the delivering.
Yes,
And you still have delivery, I'm sure.
yes,
Yes. But now there's a place where people can come.
yes,
I love it. So there's more outward-facing service space
yes.
where people can come and get the supplies and the help that they need.
Yep.
That's great. So you've had a ribbon cutting, November 19.
Yes.
which is very, very exciting just to get the whole place officially open, people able to come. And I know that we're putting up graphics, with the address and everything of where people can come to be at Hope Heals right now. You mentioned that one of the rooms was a counseling room. This is something you haven't had before, right?
Correct.
What's it like?
I want a kind of like a center. I don't want to call it a day center, but I want kind of a day, a place where people can come to fill out an application, come in and have a walk-in basis counseling room where if they're going through a crisis, which would be considered a family crisis or a personal crisis, not a huge crisis, but just so that they can come in and have somebody to talk to help them to de-escalate whatever's going on and maybe refer them to different resources available, and just to be able to have a safe place to, I just want people to be able to come in and be loved where they are.
Yes.
No matter what their circumstances is or their situation. I just want to be able to love on them where they are.
All right, so you're soon going to have some counseling services there as well, and these special rooms. I like how you talked about a room for women with the kinds of things women need and a room for men with the kinds of things that they need. I'm not surprised to hear you say that, because I know that you're one of the unique and fun things about you is that you are really able to think about what people in that situation really need, what they would want. And why did you decide to kind of divide it up like that?
Well, I was trying to do this similar situation in the basement of the Gardner building, but it just wasn't working the way I wanted it. And I just feel like we need to be loved on. Our whole world is about computers, and everything is computerized, and there's more trauma that happens or more mental stuff that happens when that's all we do is play on our phones, on our computers and all that. And I just want to eliminate that piece. We're getting so much away from the human contact that I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important that we have those human interactions to help our own lives and stuff to be successful.
Yeah, this is the opposite of ordering what you need online and having it delivered.
Yes.
Yeah. This is go be there with other humans.
Yes.
Who can see you,
Yes.
can understand your needs, understand you, love on you, and help you get what you need, not just physically what you need, but mentally,
yes.
socially.
Yes.
Yeah. That's so beautiful, so fantastic. I understand something really big besides the move has happened for you. What is that?
Well, I kind of have a long story short, but I'll make it short and sweet.
Okay.
Hope Heals received a $75,000 grant.
Wow.
And it ended up being from a Whitman student's parents.
Yes.
Who has a foundation out of California. And they made the offer to me in June, and we got that in October. And that $75,000 is going to purchase us 2 delivery vans.
Oh.
So we get kind of like the white vans, the tall white vans that Amazon uses to make their deliveries. We get 2 of those for Hope Heals.
Oh, that is fantastic.
So,
and you'll be able to have your logo on them, and they'll be driving around town.
yes.
Making the deliveries.
Making the deliveries and picking up the donations.
Yes.
So.
Oh, that is huge.
Yes.
Very, very exciting. I'm sure people are thinking about how they can help, in addition to volunteering with you, how they can help financially. And we're coming here to the end of the calendar year, and we have the Valley Giving Guide here in our area. Are you part of that?
I am. So every December, people can make a financial donation to local nonprofits, and Hope Heals is one of those nonprofits. and it's just year-end donations. And this year, everything that we make on the Valley Giving Guide is going straight to our new building.
Excellent, excellent. So people need to be paying attention to the Valley Giving Guide, of course, and looking for Hope Heals there.
Yes, and that starts December 2nd and goes through December 31st.
And any big dreams now that you're in your new place? Any big dreams for the future? Ways that people can help?
Yes, we have volunteer opportunities. People can come in. I was thinking about, I don't know yet our schedule, but I was thinking about maybe having Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then have being open those days, and then Tuesday, Thursday to be out in the community, picking up donations, picking up the cleaning supplies and the toiletry items that we're going to need to fill our care packages, and just being more visible in the community and stuff. So there's big opportunities as far as I would like to maybe once a week, maybe on a Friday afternoon, have an art class. I know how to crochet, and I'd like to teach people how to be self-sufficient, and also maybe even teach them how to clean, and maybe write up some recipes and stuff so that they have an easy meal to cook for their family. Just hands-on stuff.
Yeah, the kind of stuff we all need to know.
Yes.
And some of it also fun when you get into the art side, ways to let ourselves be creative. And we're not so able to be creative when our needs aren't met, but once those are met, then we can step up to those fulfilling kind of things that make life fun.
Yes.
Indeed. This sounds like great plans. So yes, volunteers who can come and help you to be open those 3 days a week. Yeah, indeed. All right. Well, I hope that that each of our viewers who are watching right now will be thinking about what they can do, how they can contribute to what's going on with Hope Heals, such a fantastic organization, as I said at the beginning, here in our community. Thank you for your vision and for what you're doing with it. It is easy to get discouraged by problems that will never be solved. Deuteronomy 15:11 reminds us that there will never cease to be poor in the land. Therefore, I command you, you shall open wide your hand to your brother, to the needy and to the poor in your land. Investing in our fellow citizens is not just a kind thing to do, but it is our sacred responsibility to bear each other's burdens. And what a privilege it is to support one another. In the process of investing in each other, we find purpose, we find community and connection. You can change somebody's world. And in that exchange, we are all blessed with invincible hope and steadfast joy. Community really doesn't get better than that. I'll see you on the next episode of Hometown. Do you love uplifting stories of people in our community as much as we do? When you give a gift, you make local, uplifting, community-focused programming like Hometown possible. To find out how, just use the QR code or visit our website at the link in our bio. And don't forget to like and subscribe to hear more great stories about our valley.